Welcome. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my table saw. Um, Now, I bought this table saw for $350 and there was some issue with it. It was a good price. Um, the issues that I had with it was everything was out of line. The blade was out of line. The rail that you see there was not there. If you look down there, zoom in, right there, I had to make a fence for it. I'll show you how that worked in a little bit. Uh, so I aligned it, and that was good. Now, I also made some modification to it by putting on my router table extension on it. Under the router table, I put a little storage area for my push sticks, safety first, Um, my fence when I'm not using it, the router table fence. Um, Down there at the bottom, I made a little, I don't know, you can call it a little cart on wheel. It's a little base on wheel, so I could move it around. This I saw on YouTube where, you just push those little things down, that pipe down, and it lifts it up, and you latch it onto that piece of wood right there, and the wheels come up, and you can move it around the shop. The other modification that I did was I built this table saw extension, outfeed table I should call it. Now this I saw when I was watching Norm Abraham and on the New Yankee Workshop, and this really helped for cutting long pieces. If you're dealing with a sheet of plywood, it helps. Um, as you can see, there's a extension on the outfeed table, and that's for when I'm cutting pieces longer than 6 feet, because this outfeed table, it folds down when I'm not using it. So if I had that on it, it would be hitting the ground. So this is held on with 2 carriage bolts, one here and the other one on the other side there. Now how I hold it up is I have this thing is for um, outfeed. It's an outfeed roller, which never worked well because either it's bumped over or it's either it's bumped over or it's causing the piece to stray away from the fence. So I hardly ever used it, and it was just there in the shop. So I figured this would be a good use for it to hold up the extension table, the extension piece on the outfeed table. And these other two, this one and that one over there, uh, they can be used to make a makeshift table. And they were just sitting in the shop too, so I figured I could use that. The way it is made, it's just some 1.5 inch rails that I make a frame out of, and I connect some melamine onto the top, which, it's always smooth, it slides. Um, the way it's connected to my table is, here I have a piece of wood, which I just cut a groove in it so I can push it up on the angle iron that came with the table, and that is always there, so I cut a slot right there, and another slot over there so that I can slide my miter gauge. That, man. Whew. Okay, so I can use my table saw sled, my miter sled, or any other fixture that I have to use in that slot. Um, that's it about the outfeed table. You can see the construction of many on YouTube. Um, Now I'm gonna demonstrate how I cut a whole sheet of plywood on here. So here I have my sheet of plywood set up, and over there it has to be touching the fence. Over here, my workbench is the same height of my table saw, which is an advantage here. So this would be my helper. If I turn the saw on, holy crap, no power. And go back and go. Okay, let me do this now. Now we're gonna see how it works. Okay. So I can cut it and leave it there, and I don't have to stress myself because I don't have somebody to grab it for me. Okay, now I'm gonna cut a piece that is 10 foot long. Okay, now I'm gonna cut the 10-foot piece. I'm gonna rip them up into just some strips that I'm gonna be using. Well, this one I pushed a little bit too far, but but I just put it back. Now, if you push it too far, it's gonna fall. But I can cut a 10-foot piece on here without trouble of it falling over if I don't push it too far. So there you have it, my modification of my table saw. Thank you for watching. If it's your first time visiting my channel, you can subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos. And you can also like it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one. Ciao.